course, if it's more convenient, we can go inside the restaurant here and take a seat there, if that's all right with you, or we can stay outside in nature's warmth.
There you go. I guess that's
I think
not a lot of
beautiful
not a
here
lot
for
of
the
water,
moment.
but still
Of
do.
course, the weather seems to be holding out
About
today,
time.
so that's very good.
Thank you, mister.
Yes, and I do love the sort of the cozy feeling of a fire. And it makes the hospitality seem so much warmer, you know?
I agree.
Are you going to garden over there?
Ah, yes, you saw that. Yeah, we've been growing a few plants and vegetables for 1 or 2 days now. They should be ready soon enough, but you know, become self-sustaining is one of our objectives, you could say. Have to put food on the
They
table.
look very healthy.
Ah, yes, we take very good care of our produce, but once in a while we can get
Caldwell.
well, vegetables can go bad, but if you take your eyes off them for even a moment.
Yes, I've seen some of that myself, but more often than not we can at least survive here.
So, I know that you,
Yes,
sir,
I apologize.
are...
My manners are a bit remiss.
That's quite alright.
My name is Alyssa. I'm not sure if Mr. Reiner introduced everybody.
What can...
Anyway,
yeah, I'll let my friend here introduce himself as well.
Dan
Nice to
Hamilton.
meet you.
Nice to meet you all. Good to see some friendly folks.
True that.
It's good to make your acquaintance as well.
So... Well, we might as well get right down to it. What can I do for you,
No,
Alyssa?
in fact, I was hoping that we would have proper introductions to anyone who was available to meet.
Of course.
Well, that guy over there on the tower there, that's Kozlov. Not much of a talker, but good guard, I suppose, so.
Yeah, he's just, you know, keeping eyes on the perimeter, keep making sure the infected don't get past. You know, just
Excellent
keeping everything
idea,
safe.
and we do appreciate it.
That's good for wood on the fire.
There's some miners, some we got some miners. So, Alyssa, Raynor, what can we do for you then?
Well, you know, I think it's so interesting. Everybody wants to know what they can do, but really we are simply moving around and meeting as many people as we can, letting people know what we are trying to do. I think that's more of an appropriate first step. So Mr. Reiner and our friends have come to the conclusion that we must begin to collect and preserve and share what is remaining of the human knowledge and wisdom in this country. And we must begin to update all of the new skills and trades and things that are now necessary for survival in the kind of world we now find ourselves.
Oh, I see.
So I guess our first goal is to make ourselves known to people as an organization interested in sharing knowledge without discrimination. Second goal is to find people who are willing to help and who have skills either that are helpful for the modern day or that we could preserve from prior to the infection. Engineers, tradesmen, people of culture, the arts. We're looking for any of those kinds of people to meet with Mr. Reiner or to even hold events to teach once we determine a campus location. And it's another goal as well, as we've been looking at cities and towns to find just the perfect spot to set up and begin to hold our events.
Oh, I see. It's quite a worthy cause you have going there, and I commend you on such a cause. Not many people dedicate their time to such things nowadays, as you can imagine.
Yes, well, you know, I must confess that when I first came from the north out of the woods, I was a bit directionless. I think everyone was in shock and learning how to survive. But I've thought a long time, and I've met a number of people, and if there's anything that I can say is really at the core of what is wrong with the country today, it's not necessarily the infected, it's that people are losing their humanity. Yes.
Very true.
And the key to that is reminding them, teaching them. In fact, it's Mr. Reiner's passion and inquisitiveness. That's one of the things that has inspired me.
Of course, I
People have
understand.
referred to you as scars of the old world, yes? I would
Yes.
have figured you had.
This is a somewhat metaphorical meaning of the life we used to live. You know, our profession, our individual profession, sorry, that we used to have. I used to be an international trader for the government here, but unfortunately, when the crisis erupted, well, things turned bad, and we had to quickly evolve and learn how to survive on our own. But listen, I can see where you're coming from, though. I understand what your objective is. You must forgive me. It's very interesting to hear such things. We haven't heard anyone speak of, dare I say it, hope for quite a while now, for a long time.
Yes, and we certainly are just beginning, you know. There's a lot of work to be done, which is in fact why it's very important for us to do what we're doing now, just meet people, get to know what their needs are, you know. One of the things I've been asking people is what do you think we need to preserve, and do you know anybody with skills that we could get together with Mr. Reiner or help to teach other people with?
I see. Ah, yes. Natalie, yes. We met her quite yesterday, I believe, yeah. Just south of here, near the woods. We were with our friend John from the Order.
I see. So you met Titan as well?
Yes, I believe so, yes. We were with John and
I wasn't
Al.
searching, but I've been monitoring their radio for quite some time, and I heard they were looking for Natalie.
Hey, Natalie, that last we met before up north.
Yeah, that was the Natalie we met yesterday is also the same Natalie we met in for the first time in Novi Sobor, I believe. There was a night of leisure and entertainment then, and there was a nice barbecue, getting to know the locals and whatnot. So we hosted it, and funnily enough, she came by, and there we go.
Goodbye. Or not. She's a good woman.
No, she's a very nice woman. She's very well educated.
Very
She's
sweet.
I hope she's doing well.
In
Of
fact,
course.
I had a lovely conversation with her just yesterday.
She's quite nice. She's doing good. I heard. I heard her on the radio and
Excellent.
Yes, she in fact has inspired me to make sure that when we found the campus, to make sure that there is some sort of a courtyard or a restaurant or some place for leisure and relaxation and people just to have a little fun, share a little food. She has helped me remember how important that is for preserving our humanity as well.
Of course. The little things. It's about the little things in life sometimes. Certainly for
Sometimes it
some
seems
people.
that every day is filled with gunfire and scrambling for food and crises, and I think we may forget what it means to share a dinner with one another, to share a story, to remember, you know, those things.
I agree.
Conversation, hope, as you said.
Hope, yes, but unfortunately with us, the other side of us, on the other hand, if I will speak honestly now, of course, I'm sure you would appreciate my honesty. right now if I was to.
Of course.
Of course. Well, hope can be the first step on the road to disappointment for some people, as they feel. Many people have suffered unbearable amounts of pain, especially since the beginning of the outbreak of infection. Needless to say, I'm sure you can see this with your own eyes. Other people, well, they just don't want to be involved. They think that this is the end, and well, then, how can I say it? The number of people taking their own lives is skyrocketed, and we've seen this firsthand.
That looks pretty good.
So hope can be a good thing, and it can be a bad thing for certain people. That's why we're very careful about who we speak to about this. We don't want to cause too much. We don't want to cause pain, with old wounds. If you understand what I mean, it's a difficult thing to speak of.
I am not aware of your wounds in particular or how you've come upon them. However, I certainly appreciate your concern. As we said when I was a counselor before all this, we do not wish to set people up for failure, most especially ourselves.
Reno, to answer your question, I am Zero. It's a code name we go by. Yes, it was for security precautions that we use certain code names over the open frequency, just in case if certain people were listening in. We had to take precautions. I'm sure you understand.
Yes, of course.
I absolutely understand, and I appreciate
that's
that
an
security
idea
and
to do, actually.
Yes.
Well,
That is why
security
in
is.
the order everyone receives a nickname.
See, our friends are very inquisitive. The order's full of survivalists. They know how to get things done. Especially Al. Al's a very cheeky fellow.
Yes. To keep that story short, he's no longer in the order.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I'm sure we'll speak of him again soon enough.
Well, Al
Wait, where the hell did
decided
Caldwell
that
go?
our ways were not sufficient for himself.
Everyone's got to make
Everyone's
their own way in life. Everyone's got a different path to lead, different choices and decisions to make. But we can only do the best that we can.
Well, Al chose the way of revenge instead of the order, so that is something we must respect. And well, he has parted ways from us, but he's still as one of our own.
Yeah, I can respect that. But if I may ask for a quick question, is there other organizations that you have been involved with in Chernarus at this time? Any other groups or
Perhaps
organizations?
this will be a sufficient answer to your question. Alcyone, which is going to be the name under which we will found the campus, is a strictly neutral educational organization, and we will not be publishing any military or other type of strong alliances. Certainly, I think the best and first line of defense for any neutral organization is to simply be on at least neutral or somewhat friendly terms with everyone in the area who is willing to behave civilly. And within our boundaries, we will, of course, enforce the rule that anyone who comes for learning or teaching within Alcyone's boundaries will leave their affiliations and their personal business behind, at least until such time as they have left their knowledge or gained it and gone elsewhere. We are not a military group. We are committed to the preservation and sharing of knowledge. We do not intend to interfere in other people's hostilities or wars, with the possible exception in the future of if people would wish for diplomatic mediation with neutral third parties.
Purely for academic purposes. And,
Well,
We do
that.
not wish to alienate any potential teacher or student, and we do not wish to lose any valuable knowledge by appearing to favor one group or organization over another, and we greatly value our autonomy. That having been said, we do wish to work closely with anyone who would like to volunteer time or knowledge, or with anyone who would like to work with Mr. Reiner to archive what they already know. But we feel very strongly that our ability to do that is best kept safe by not making strong alliances.
I see.
They don't appear to wish to engage with civility with anyone, Mr. Reiner, so unless they approach us with civility, we won't be seeking them out.
I would, of course, I would assume that there are certain people in this land that don't take a liking to your plans or objectives. They see it as a possible threat to their existence, even though I can't see personally how you would. But as the saying goes, knowledge is power, so they may see it that way.
Thus far, and we have only been touring, I'd say, for about a week to a week and a half, we have heard nothing but positive support. Of course, we have an entire country worth of people to meet and see. I expect that there are always going to be some people who just won't be happy with anything, and of course peace has, since the beginning of time, been the most vitriolic message ever. But I am committed to steadfastly walking this path. I believe that the staff and faculty and friends that we have already acquired are as well, and, Alcyone will not burn without a fight. We will defend ourselves, for sure.
That's good.
But I have not heard even the remotest whisper of something coming to that.
I see. Of course, you do not want to make war. You wish to resolve things peacefully, which is admirable. You stand on principle, as do we.
Of course, we are an endangered species after all. We need not running around killing ourselves and each other, yes?
I agree. There are bigger, there are bigger threats, but there is also the bigger picture to think of. We can't be just one-sided in our thinking and one thought at a time. This is what I've stressed with our friends and other people. I believe,
Yes, exactly.
yeah, those two, but they are. Don't mind them, they're just having a fun time. I see that he's managed to move the pumpkins over here. They seem to be fully grown now. Please help yourselves if you enjoy a bit of pumpkin once in a while.
Yes, I think I will. If you don't mind, I will.
No, by all means.
we also have
freshly
some
grown.
meat, if you wish.
Sir Raven, would you like one?
I'm quite alright, thank you.
Let me see quickly here. See if the tomatoes are
Mr.
doing.
Reiner?
I'll take.
Tomatoes seem to be done as well.
Oh.
If you would like some tomatoes, then please go ahead and pick them. And just quickly drop some of these.
Sorry. It's just an idea I had. I don't know. We're doing kind of this place of learning. There needs to be someone in charge, and they need a name, kind of almost like a code name. I thought, if it's kind of like a place where people can learn and grow, it's kind of like the dean overseeing everyone. Yeah, that was my thought. Especially when I thought of when Alexi's name Raven and...
I'm on Overwatch, man.
The name Zero now.
Yes. Well,
It's not a bad idea. This sort of has a ring to it, doesn't it, Dean Morgan?
Sound muted.
here you are, Dan.
It fits you.
What's up?
Nothing. Just enjoying the nice produce of pumpkins. It seems you're quite the farmer as well as the cowboy.
Oh,
Y'all
gosh,
talking
yes,
right here
somebody's
while I'm doing all the work, huh?
very good at this.
Okay.
Like it. Talking to diplomacy, all that kind of stuff.
You know, the way we do business. That is the nature of diplomacy, talk. Normally myself, I don't see much of the merits of diplomacy within our group, Alyssa. We believe in the cadre system, if you are familiar with this social system, if you've heard of it before.
Actually, I've heard of it, but I am probably not as informed as you, if you want to know more.
Of course, I'm going to explain. The cadre system is basically each person is responsible for not just themselves, but for the cause that they are helping. Whichever path they lead down in life, they're all leading down the same path, the same collective initiative. That is the core basic of our society, our group, as it were. As I said before, we are scars of the old world, the world that we left behind. We use our strengths and weaknesses to form our own society, our own community, to put it simply.
Sort of what the
members of your group are always
of course.
representing your values. And
Yes,
they agree to this 24 hours a day.
We stand on principle, or we don't stand at all. That's how we see it. Our loyalty is our bond, and we stand by those who give us their loyalty as well. Like my friend over here.
Exactly as the order works as
my
well.
world is much simpler than all your diplomatic talking, tell you that much. You know my ways. Kind people don't get shot, not kind people get shot. How about that?
Well,
Dishonest folks, they have no place around here.
that is the way of the world, some would say it, but, you know, we try to make the best of a bad situation. But of course,
My question,
please go
what
ahead.
is your principles then?
Our basic
You
principles?
took the words out of my mouth.
You say
Direction.
you work on principles.
Direction, order, and purpose. No more than that. The direction in which we go, individual as individualism as it's defined, order, there must be order in society, otherwise there is chaos, needless to say. And the purpose why we're all here in this situation, the purpose of why my friend to my left, Dan, survived this long, the nature of his profession, his strengths and weaknesses, everything. Because without purpose, there'll be nothing. We keep it as simple as possible. In a way, yes, but
Can I ask
of course, yes.
what does say a typical day or week look like for your people? You said earlier that you're attempting to become self-sustaining. Any other goals that you're currently attempting to meet? We are also interested, of course, in learning about the needs of the people of Chernereth. This will shape our curriculum.
Well, as you just explained, self-sustaining, we all need to become self-sustaining, even though, you know, we may all work together in a collective initiative, but, you know, we have to put food on the table at the end of the day, whether it be one way or the other. But, you know, we don't resort to banditry. I'll say that, you know, I'll put that card on the table right now if, you know, if that needs to be said. But, sorry, my mind's going a mile a minute at the moment. It must have been that pumpkin.
Oh dear, it's okay.
It's been one of those days, you know, when we have to travel a long way, and it's been stressful. It's been a long road, but needless to say, we put our own grievances aside for the greater good, so to speak.
What's up? Oh, for fuck's sake. Excuse me, folks. I got a
Mm. Yeah.
What?
Okay. Well,
But of
it
course,
seems that perhaps you guys have been through quite a lot, and I'm not as informed. I do apologize if you guys have been through a rough time. Is this not?
oh no,
If
that's
this
quite
is not a
alright.
good time for you, we certainly we
Oh
can.
no.
We do have a radio. We are rolling around quite a lot. We'd certainly be happy to come back.
Oh no, that's
I
quite
know we
alright.
have
We're
so many questions. I don't mean to just bombard you. We're very curious people.
no, it's absolutely fine. We've had a rough day, as you can see, and there's only small numbers here today. Many others have travelled in separate groups in search of supplies, and they're just keeping their heads down, as we usually do. We just try to keep to ourselves as much as possible. But if there are any other questions that you may have, please, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
I think, from what it sounds like, you have a group of people attempting to work together to build a community where you guys can be safe and look out for each other. Does that sound about right?
That is pretty much as simple as I could put it. But he put it as eloquently as that, yes. But needless to say, there are other things that we will work on, such as a social justice system, because as you can tell, in this land currently there is a bit of a problem with crime, you could say.
Yes, in fact, I hope one day to have a law department, and of course we already have a philosophy professor. I think these two things are very useful. It is, of course, a wonderful thing to have order, but we must figure out and certainly agree amongst many groups that exist here, what that order looks like and what those rules are, who will enforce them, and who has the right to say which rules are the best for the entire country. Those will be very
That's going to
important
be hard to
concerns
put
for
in
anyone attempting to form policy.
I see. Who has the right of claim? Who has the right to form the new government, as it were? But needless to say, there are many people out there who don't.
For the people who have no voice.
Exactly, that is the problem.
Who will,
That's been the problem since the beginning
how
of the
shall we
outbreak.
define justice? Yes, indeed.
People nowadays, they see justice as a harsh sentiment or sentence. They believe that they are the judge, jury, and executioner. In some cases, ourselves, if someone's done us wrong, then yes, naturally we would seek justice. But taking a life, we don't take that decision so lightly. We defend ourselves, yes, but we won't overstep ourselves.
I expect that the organization my friends and I are building will be a long-lasting one. We hope to seek guidance and information and the stories and knowledge of the people all over this country. We hope to carve out a safe place for learning and asking questions such as these. We hope to demonstrate civility and humanity and inspire people to remember what we once were and what we could be again. This is going to take a very, very long time and a lot of work, but I, for one, expect to be in it for the long haul, and I'm not expecting anyone to jump or move quickly or without thought, but perhaps one day we can all work together to have voices for the voiceless, to have true justice. But those things will have to be built like a cooperative across the entire country, like a cager for a country, I think. Not just each individual, but each township, each faction responsible for itself, as well as the well-being of others.
It's going to be quite hard to put in practice, though. There will always be groups that will oppose ideas, even if they are righteous. Take, for example, the convicts these days. They rob people for no reason, kill people for no reason. I don't believe that groups like these will ever listen to the reason.
Ah. Oh, I can see where you're coming from, Raynar, but the old world, as I said, it's an old wound, and usually I don't speak much about it for certain people within our group. You know, we we can't exactly hit a nerve with certain people because you never know what's going to happen. We've had first-hand experience of when we question someone within our group saying, what is your whatever your past is, it's your past, it's gone now, there's nothing you can do to change that. Some of the people that we've taken in, we've trained, we've clothed them, we've fed them, you know, they've had it rough. They've had to do things that you shouldn't be forced to do. So, you know, it's tough at the moment.
Sir Raven does make a good point. I do not expect for this to be an easy road. Already, people ask difficult questions, and some of these questions we don't necessarily have an answer for. We will certainly have to meet trouble when it is in our road, and I assume that it will be. I can only do my best to be as prepared as possible. However, I have spent far too long wishing and hoping and thinking and waiting and seeing if someone else would do something, and I will die one of these days anyway. And I, for one, don't want to go out without having tried, without having given people a second chance, without having fought for something that I can believe in, that I truly think anyone with any heart left can believe in. That's how I want to go down.
That's true. Spoken like a true people's champion. Yeah, it's good. Ah, here's our friend, Mr. Guard. Back from duty.
Did Dan tell you that we're having a special guest coming over?
Special guest, eh? Let me guess who.
Yeah, well, I was on top of the watchtower. I got a radio message from Will that he's coming over this way.
I see. Alyssa and Raynar and Raven. This is a friend of ours, and he usually deals with diplomatic relations within our organisation. It's good that he's come here today. I thought he'd be busy up north, but don't mind them. They're just very excited to see him. We haven't seen him in a few days.
It sounds that way.
Perhaps he'll come over in a moment when he's settled, but
Oh, that's fine. It's good to see people enjoying each other's company. Friendship is a good thing.
yeah. Let me bring him over to introduce him. Excuse me one moment.
Of course. Mr. Runner, thank you so much for helping keep me on track.
Is that who I think it is? The one, the only?
Yeah.
Ah, well, good to see you. You have some guests over here. Why don't you come and introduce yourself?
No worries, Dean.
Alright.
Boss.
Everything alright, I trust? No trouble on the road?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Ah, here we are then. Everyone. This is our good friend Will. Will, this is everyone.
Well, hello.
Will was one of the first people I met in this land. He's been with us a very long time. He's very capable.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to meet you.
Well,
Thank
I
you,
hope
again
the
so
feeling
much
will be
for,
mutual.
It's been
I
a
certainly hope so, and thank you once again for your group's hospitality.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome indeed.
It's kind of par for the course when we meet someone who reciprocates that hospitality.
Of course. Take a seat, Will. Please, join us. We were just talking of relations.
Yes, we were.
Lisa, do you have any other further questions for us? We were talking on principles.
Indeed, yes, so we have high hopes for preserving knowledge and wisdom and sharing it with the world. We've explained here to Bill that we are hoping to steadfastly be a strictly neutral organization because we feel that's the best way to invite as many students and potential teachers to our campus when we found it as possible without alienating them. We will, of course, enforce rules on our campus that will involve peace and civility. And we will do our best to keep ourselves out of any groups, conflicts, with the possible exception in the future of a diplomatic or mediation services and neutral ground. I think that's part of what's missing in this world, and maybe we can build something in that direction. But first, we have to find people who can teach and find out what people want to learn. So that's part of our mission. We're sort of on tour, with Mr. Reiner spearheading the efforts.
Perhaps we know a few people, or a few old friends of ours. They may know certain other people that may be of the intellectuals or historians. One or two of them, maybe. Can't remember his name. I remember his second name. I think it was Harrison. Something Harrison. He used to be a professor of some sort. We'll try and see if we can get in touch with him for you, and we'll take it from there. We'll send out a few radio messages.
Be wonderful.
And, as we said before, information is key.
Well,
yes, absolutely, and having a good network of people who communicate with one another civilly, and I think it's just as important to hold events where people can come and be social with one another, feasts, dances maybe. If we could find musicians, social things are just as important for such a community.
Musicians.
Come together and share such ideas.
Musicians.
The order.
Yeah, we do too. What is it? Cat is very skilled, with a guitar. Oh, there we go then.
You see, already we're building great parties, at least.
Well, you say yourself, Mr. Bill, that I think, your organization itself could be very important. Because you say you wish your goal, your principle of self-sustaining, yes? Many people do not know how to self-sustain. I think I would be honored to teach that to people. I'd be honored if you would, you would like to have even your own, just come in for one time and just speak a bit about self-preservation.
I myself am, I try my best to help the people that serve beside me, our friends Will, Dan, and the others that are within our selective organisation. But I don't fancy myself the greatest of teachers, but we try. That's the main thing. But we'll take it under consideration and see how much help we can be in the not so distant future.
Even in more than that, if you or your people have ideas for classes or departments or things that we haven't thought of, we really want to build something that the people of Chernerus can love and value, and that's based on their needs and desires. We can't know those things and work towards them if we don't hear them. So, I hope Mr. Reiner will provide you with our radio frequency and make sure that, now or 10 years from now, if you think of something, you let us know.
Of course. And I trust that you are seeking other people to join this noble cause as well. I trust you're reaching out to other certain groups that you may come across in your travels, if that's fair to say.
Yes, of course, we intend to meet with as many people as possible to spread the word. I certainly would love to hire more staff and faculty. I do so hate to sort of steal people if they belong to other communities. I do respect free will a great deal, but anyone who applies for staff or faculty will certainly have a fair review. And if you don't mind to get the word out about that as well, that would be most appreciated. Mr. Reiner can again provide details to contact me directly, either by radio or sometimes we can get a post message.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Sorry, Reiner, you were speaking of Manny. Joffrey, was it?
Yes.
I don't believe I've heard of his name before, but who is he by chance? Is he someone of social importance, or...?
He is our philosophy professor.
Ah,
He
he's
has a
with...
lot of issues. He's had some issues in the past with some people, and I wanted to see if you had any
Ah,
contact
well,
with him, any relations.
I don't believe I have ever come across the name, but we've had our grievances all too well, haven't we, Will, with certain groups that have come across us before. And
Yeah.
we'll see if they're
Would you
interested
like to
as
make-
well.
Sure. Oh gosh, that would be so very helpful.
Joffrey.
Mr. Reiner.
What is the last name of this Joffrey?
Oh dear. Mr. Joffrey Reed.
The name sounds
It's not
familiar.
the name of the man that led the family, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's him.
I see.
Family?
What a philosophy teacher.
Is this the same family who went around?
Mm-hmm. That is what you were talking. That is what.
I'm
see.
sorry,
I
is this
meant-
the same family who went around? Please complete that question. I certainly want to air out any possible concerns as soon as possible.
Well, we heard rumors and radio frequency messages being sent to us that the family were an odd bunch, but they had some trouble with other certain individuals, and they said they were looking for... What was it? They said they were looking for a girl or something, Will? Was it? I don't know, some sort of person that annoyed them or was a nuisance to their organisation.
I can assure you that any of that sort of thing is a long time been water under the bridge. The organization or group that many people refer to as the family, they keep a lot of things to themselves. There is a lot of news that apparently is not public knowledge, and a lot has changed. Mr. Reed, I have had the opportunity to observe him for, quite a while now, and I was never able to substantiate a single one of the rumors that I heard about him. And to be frank, I was quite impressed with his brilliance and his passion. He is, of course, an eccentric, sometimes even vulgar man. But I do strongly believe that the pros outweigh the cons where it comes to Mr. Reed.
I see. Well, we'll take your word for it, and
His guidance and greatly.
of course, and hopefully we'll meet him as well. We'll make his acquaintance soon enough, I hope. And rumors are just rumors. Obviously, we can't always listen to rumors. We have to have evidence to back up these points of views. But I trust in your word,
And like some of your
I'm
men here, he also grows in mean income.
Ah, well, there we go then. We're building bridges already, as the saying goes. We'll take everything under consideration, and we'll obviously get back to you as soon as we can. Hopefully that will be 1 or 2 days' time, if not sooner than that, and hopefully we'll come across each other again. I'm not sure if you have business elsewhere. I trust you're busy, of course.
Oh, yes, and I'm certain that you, of course, have your own priorities. I certainly don't intend to barge in on your lives and make you rush around.
Oh, that's quite
Of course, we would love to hear from you, and of course, we would love to see you again. And hopefully, we'll see you at the campus when we found the location. But yes, please don't feel as though you have to rush on our behalf. I understand sometimes the infected get a little overwhelming. Sometimes you run out of food a little faster than you thought. Stuff happens, and I will be happy to hear from you, but I will not be breathing down your neck. How's that?
Of course, that's absolutely fine. And, well, needless to say, we appreciate you coming down here to speak with us, and, well, we hope to see more of you soon. We look forward to it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh,
It certainly has been a pleasure.
So where, I'm sorry, I just kind of started thinking, where do we exactly, how is this working? Do we have an,
well, again, we are a strictly neutral organization. However, it seems that we share some values for preservation and becoming self-sustaining. And I love their system of organization for socially. They have agreed that they will share the word, spread the word about Alcyone and what we're doing, and let us know if they come across any interested parties, share ideas. So I think basically we're agreeing to talk civilly with one another and treat each other with kindness and respect.
Of course, of course.
well, I guess my question was more, do you wish to also have a knowledge agreement? I mean, whatever public knowledge you know, share with us, and whatever public knowledge we know, share with you.
It's a very similar thing we have with the Order. We share intelligence with them, certain people that we tell them to stay away from, or certain areas that have erupted into a crisis situation, whether it be from the infected or certain groups attacking one another. I'm sure you've come across this as well. But we can share some intelligence as well, of course, for security reasons. We have no objections to that.
Yes. And also if there are any people in particular like that you suggest are dangerous, we at the campus, we're monitoring people. We don't want, crazies or whatever, any people that you feel could be a threat.
Well, there are a few...
I think the question's more of who's not a threat.
You never know when someone
It's
could
easier to make that list.
when potentially someone could turn on. But for the time being, I would say to keep your heads down. That would be the best piece of advice that I could give you. The shadows are your friends, not to speak too metaphorically or... But we'll spread the word, and we'll see those amongst our friends who are interested in such an idea and such a cause. But obviously we'll be in touch over the radio to give you certain information. We are, we're well fed with information. We know certain people in this land, and we've managed to survive this long, so we must be doing something right. Well, I would say those who don't like authority-based organisations, so those who dislike the UN, the police force, possibly ex-cons maybe, I would assume so. They have some sort of trouble with trying to establish order in the land. Not that I know of, I don't know.
We're not trying to establish order.
Not order,
Just trying to
of course,
establish
yes.
humanity.
Well,
But many of those people think like a schooling system represents, authority and structure that, if they're criminals or what have you beforehand, something they probably avoided or disdain.
I agree. That's why you must be exceptionally careful. Yes, you must be careful because not many people.
We'll be in touch.
Of course, but we remain optimistic about this, and we'll see how it goes from here, and hopefully everything will go according to plan, and hopefully we'll gain more support and yeah, we'll take it from there.
If you have any people to come that wish to come teach or learn at our, I guess we can call it an institution when it's set up, we will contact you where it's located, and you know, if you wish to come learn yourselves or teach yourselves skills to the rest of the people of Chinaris, you can do so.
Excellent. We appreciate the offer, and we'll make sure it's known to the rest of those within our group and organisation.
I agree with you, Liz. I just didn't know in a more appropriate term. A campus would be good too.
Community.
Yes,
yeah,
of course,
very
you know, we're
good.
not in the business of locking anyone up.
Of course. Completely voluntary, yes. Excellent. I think that about covers everything, and are there any other questions you may have for us?
No, indeed, I think it's been very productive, and I certainly have enjoyed meeting you and your folks today.
Likewise. So, how about you, Will? Do you have any questions for our friends here, just in case if we haven't, or if I've forgotten anything? Usually, sometimes I manage to forget one or two things, so that's why we have Will here, to remind me.
I'm not sure if I have more questions, but just kind of a word of advice. If you're making any type of group, any type of gathering, if you don't have a strong force with you, you're simply asking for those to prey upon yourselves.
Yes,
have,
indeed,
the
I
help, but it
absolutely
needs to
agree.
Wise
I
words.
mean, there are so many the place Green Mountain, there was a place called Hickory Hill. I mean, many other places people try to go and set camp and simply just make themselves open to bandits.
Yes, you are absolutely right, and of course part of my consideration has been some of these past events that I've heard and seen, and trying to figure out if there's something we could do differently, and those are the kinds of, those ideas towards how to do that are some of the things that we are absolutely open to hearing. If you have ideas about how to keep things safe, we are not opposed to hearing them.
Honestly, I think the best way to do that is just to keep it by word of mouth and only tell those you trust. Otherwise, if you're openly broadcasting your position, you're openly requesting and challenging someone to take your position.
I'm sure they understand the
And
gravity
this
of
is
the
true,
situation.
However, we are in a position where we are attempting to
Here you are,
bring
Rena.
something to the public, and so we do, like I said, have some ideas about how to handle this, but I do think that those are for a more private and in-depth discussion.
You shouldn't really broadcast it, but
There you are, sir.
you can announce
put it in your pocket
like
and,
by
we can look
word
at it
of
later.
this up.
Thank you.
Broadcasting that publicly will only draw in the bad people instead of the good people. Finding people that are willing to learn is going to require a lot of traveling and mouth-to-mouth publicity.
Yes, exactly.
It's the same as the
In-person
orchestra.
interviews.
Excellent.
Yes, and
Before
we
you
do,
allow
in fact,
someone-
intend to do quite a lot of this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'd suggest before you allow someone to know the position or take them to your position where your camp is, and you should probably, in-person interview several times. Discussions, try to understand who he's with, and, see if you can tell any obvious lies he's, spinning.
Security will be
Bring them
paramount.
to the order. And we will gladly infuse all of the information out of it, if need be.
See? Making friends already, you see that, Alyssa?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Excellent.
Well, the
As I
order.
said, Sir Raven and I have been friends for quite a long time now.
Indeed.
Excellent. It's always good to keep bridges open with old friends.
I don't want to set the world
Old
on
friends.
fire.
Absolutely.
I love
Alright then.
And thank you so much for your guidance, and we will, of course, and have been taking such things into consideration. Of course, Alexi's guidance is also priceless in this regard.
Of course. Before you obviously eventually head out, is there anything that you need to do in town? Perhaps refill your canteens. I believe there's a water pump just down the road here. Just you know.
Oh gosh,
go
yes.
ahead.
Thank you so much for the reminder. I should indeed go ahead and have a good long drink of water and refill before
Of
we
course,
leave.
we'll lead you towards it. It's just down the
Alright.
road here, and
Thank you.
I'm gonna go check on the car.
Okay.
It was a pleasure meeting you, Miss,
Likewise.
Bill.
likewise, Ray,
Yeah.
likewise.
Bill, Dan, Coswell, Will, pleasure.
Excellent. Safe travels to you, sir, and hopefully we'll meet again soon.
We will. All the best.
Same. Right then.
Well, I've still yet to see a meeting to top our last one. No one's offered me a rose yet.
Rose. We there. Ah, Rose. How about a hug?
I hope we get back to the...
No, I'm good.
Come
I'm
on,
just
man.
messing
Hug
with you.
some everything.